I've been practicing law for over 25 years. My area of expertise is transactional and regulatory healthcare. So generally, we work with physicians and other healthcare providers across the country on a variety of healthcare transactions, contracts, and other types of regulatory needs that they may have. Before starting contract negotiations, I think what physicians really need to do is to be very clear with themselves about what they want. Are they looking for a long-term position or a short-term position? That might be because they'll need to relocate for some reason, or they're using a job as a stepping stone. Maybe they're going to a job that's taking them back to the part of the country where their family is, so it's a long-term position. So I think you really need to understand what it is you're looking for. Is this the ideal job, or is it just the one you're gonna do to get experience until you find what you're looking for? Is this more hours or less hours than you really were looking for? So I think before you start looking at contract and you narrow it down to the contract that you really want to review carefully, you need to think about what those things are that are important to you. It could be, as I said, the part of the country, the specialty, whether it's the actual type of setting that you're looking for, whether it's giving you the experience you want. And those are all things to really figure out before you start looking at the contract in detail. I think it's important to have a third-party attorney review a contract, because just like I don't know anything about medicine, most physicians really don't know anything about contracts. The idea is to always talk to somebody who has greater expertise than you and can show you what you may not know, whether it's asking the right questions, understanding what something means, or negotiating those points that could put you in a better position. I think that you could certainly talk to any attorney, but I'm not so sure somebody like a real estate attorney or a litigator is really going to give you the insight that you need for a physician contract. You really want to talk to somebody who has reviewed a lot of contracts, who works with physicians regularly, and who knows exactly what they're looking for. I think that's when you'll get the best outcome in your physician contract review. Before accepting an offer, what I really like to recommend to my clients is, first of all, do they understand everything that's in the agreement? I know that I haven't done my job if at any point a physician says, I didn't understand that, or I didn't know that was in there. So before you sign something, make sure that you have asked every question that you have and you understand everything that's in the contract. It's not always going to be 100% what you want, but you need to know what's in there. Second thing I would always recommend is that you have prioritized those points that are important to you and that you know you can live with what's in the contract. So for example, if a short commute or a call schedule that wasn't overly heavy, or if outpatient versus inpatient was important to you, did you find those in the contract that you end up signing? If those things were so important to you that that's how you chose the jobs you were applying for, and yet you didn't get them in the contract that you're about to sign, that's one of the things I really want people to think about before they decide that this is the right job for them. And finally, and maybe the most important point, is make sure you understand your exit strategy. So you go into a contract with the best intent, you hope it's going to work out well, you've negotiated those points that you think are important, but it doesn't always work out. So make sure you understand how to get out of that contract. That might include giving notice, understanding a non-compete, understanding whether you have to buy a tail, knowing what the financial implications are. So it's really important, even though you're just entering into a contract, to understand how to get out of it. I have a lot of thoughts about the FTC proposed rule, and one of the most frustrating things for me is that physicians already tend to believe that non-competes are not enforceable. With everything going on in the news with the new FTC rule that has proposed to do away with the geographic component of non-compete as of September, physicians are more convinced than ever that they don't need to worry about a contract that they're signing that may have a non-compete in it. And I really think that that's untrue. In my opinion, given already the legal challenges that are occurring, it is likely that any FTC rule will be delayed. And I wouldn't be surprised if it actually did not end up becoming a final rule that was observed. I think this is a very political time. We've got an election coming up. There are lots of people who are opposed to this proposed rule, so it'll take some time. The most important thing I think for physicians to understand is don't sign a contract with a non-compete assuming that the FTC rule is going to come in and get rid of it. Never sign a contract if you can't live with what's in there, because otherwise you might be very unpleasantly surprised if that rule does not go into effect.